Hi, my name is Brandon Mercer. I'm a burnt out junkie, left destituted by the social infrastructure's downfall and the failure of the system as a whole. I decided to turn my life into more or less a roaming etymology study. If you don't know what etymology is, it's a study of biospheres, mainly living biospheres, and how they interact with one another in regards to certain environmental impact and our own influences upon those environments. I'm doing urban etymology, which means everything around us. And today we're talking about the tree lines near the aquatic park and the refuge that's dumped there illegally on a constant, plus the buildings that are out of date, that are full of chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer, if not more than other things. The reason I'm talking to you today is about this is that I'm appalled and I'm very angry at the whole scheme of things. It's like ridiculous that I can't get loaded enough to fucking ignore this shit because it is so bad. And that you people drive by all day long, going on the off-ramp, throwing your stuff out the window, and you give no fucking idea to what is going to happen to you and your kids and your kids' kids in the next 30 years. You see this, right, for instance, this pole right here is called compression treated, which means it's got chemicals in it to prevent insects from eating it alive, which is a good thing, but it's supposed to be concrete mounted, see, as per the environmental impact laws. This one's mounted right into the dirt, which means when it rains, the water leaches into the wood's porous, then goes down to the base and then leaches out the chemicals that were put into the wood to prevent it from being eaten by bugs. You're like, oh, so the wood will get eaten? No, it just means that the poison will go into the ground. The poison will go into the ground. We've been losing a lot of trees lately due to root rot, and I wrote a paper on this and sent it to Berkeley, but since I'm just a junkie, nobody wanted to pay attention to it. It was based on the idea that the natural defoliant for the eucalyptus trees here is not present. Because they're an imported tree, they're used to having koala bears defoliate the excess leaves, keeping them from collecting on the ground in such large numbers, which they do quite readily here, producing a mold, I believe, attacks roots of trees indiscriminately. Normally, these kind of infections of trees tend to stick to one type of tree, but this one particular doesn't seem to care. It'll take down any tree, and nobody wants to see that fact. Instead, they want to cut the trees down like this, mulch the rest of it, throw the mulch everywhere, which is the worst thing you could possibly do, and then discard the rest of the trunks right here on the side of the highway for lack of a better solution, or wanted to pay the dumping fee. Why does it take a junkie to point this shit out to you people? It's sad. I mean, I was my mother's child and all on, so of course, my mom was educated. She worked for McDonnell Douglas, an engineer, flight engineer. My dad was Army Corps engineer. My grandfather was a colonel in World War II. My oldest brother was a non-vet who was captured, declared dead, and then he came back of his own ability because he was not dead. For the sake of what the system does for people, they leave them behind and count them as dead when they are not. But as for the rest of this, I don't have a solution for any of this stuff. But it should be somebody of more, say, social credibility to bring this to your attention than a 41-year-old burnt-out junkie. All right, thank you for your time. Hopefully this upload doesn't get me put in the federal penitentiary. And don't do drugs, because I need them.